You know, I'm happy to answer a lot of questions. This one, I am not going to answer. Hi, this is Andrea Schulman again, and ordinarily I post videos that are specific to the law of attraction, consciousness, and spirituality, but I have been getting a lot of questions on my different channels and social media platforms that are rather personal in nature, so I thought it might be fun to do a different kind of video where I just went through and answered some of these questions. So today I'm going to film a little bit differently. We'll see if you like it. Let me know what you think about this style of filming. I like switching things up from time to time. Give me your feedback below. I'd love to hear it. Now, before we get into these questions, if you are new to my channel, please make sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications if you're on YouTube, because I do put out new videos every single week. Again, usually focused entirely on the law of attraction, consciousness, and spirituality. But let's go ahead. I've got a whole list of questions. I'm going to go through and just rattle through some of these so that you can find out about me, what you've been wanting to know. All right, so one of the questions I've seen repeatedly on YouTube is about green screens and what has happened to my green screens. And right now they're packed up and they're at my new house. So we just closed on a new house. They are sitting in the closet of the office of my new house. So I'm not going to be using them right now. But also I just kind of stopped using them for a while just because I like to switch things up. Here's another question. What's a day in the life of Andrea look like? i.e. daily routine, work-life balance. Well, I work from home. Okay, so, you know, this is kind of what we're doing. So, and I would say I'm basically the primary caregiver of my children. My husband's very involved with our kids, but he has very unusual work hours. So sometimes he leaves really early, sometimes he comes home very late, sometimes he's out of town. You know, I do things like I put content on YouTube. I have a rather large Facebook audience. I post a lot to Instagram. I have a membership website that I run where I put video content on there. I create coaching videos for people. I have a roster of live coaching clients. So you could say that I have a lot of irons in the fire, and it just kind of depends on what needs to get done as to what the order of my day looks like. But there are some fairly consistent things that happen day to day in my life. Right now, on a typical day, I usually wake up at about 6 a.m. and the beginning of my day is really about posting a couple things to social media, but mostly about getting ready and getting my kids off to school. So I do drive my kids to school every morning, and then after that, I head to the gym. I'll go to the gym, and then if there are errands that need to be run, like today, I needed to go to Home Depot because my husband wants to build a fireplace in the new home and needed me to pick a stone color. So I had a mission to go in there and figure out what stone to pick out. So a lot of times when I leave the gym in the morning, instead of getting right to work, I will go run some kind of errand, simply because I have the luxury to do that. And, you know, if you work like a regular 9 to 5, like I used to, you're always having to go to the store, like on the weekend when everyone's there, or at night when everyone's there. And the nice thing about how my life runs now is that I can do those things like on a Monday morning or a Tuesday morning when nobody's in the store. Then I come home, I usually check email, do a couple little things on the computer, get showered, get dressed, and get to doing things like this where I'm filming or I'm doing video editing, meeting with coaching clients, or whatever needs to be done. At the end of my workday, I pick up my kids, bring them home. I do not cook. My husband usually does the cooking. He's a much better cook than I am. I'm a baker. I like to bake pastries and stuff, but I don't like cooking dinner. To me, that's boring. So when he's not here, the kids and I often go out to dinner, or I'm like lazy mom and I do like chicken nuggets and frozen pizzas and that kind of stuff. And then after that, you know, get the kids off to bed, hang out with my husband for a bit, and just get ready for the next day. I get asked a lot about my diet. A lot of people ask me if I eat clean. A lot of people, I guess you can see on video, I get a lot of questions about my arms. How do you stay in shape? Or what's your exercise routine? All that kind of stuff. I really do believe that all things are fundamentally neutral. So there is not a right diet and a wrong diet. And I think that's fairly self-evident. So if you have been banging around on this earth for a while, you probably noticed that diets come and go. Foods that were good are now bad. Foods that were bad are now good, because all things are fundamentally neutral. And it's not really what you eat. Really, it's more about the energy behind what you're eating. So I do not eat a clean diet. I kind of eat a hodgepodge of some foods that are really healthy and some foods that really aren't. So I track the foods that I eat, mostly just so I can get a gauge of what works for me, and so that I really am aware of what it is that I'm eating. So I use an app on my phone called MyFitPal. I don't know. I found that what I'm eating works for me. It does change. So when it comes to diet, what I would say is, you know, I'm really in the best shape of my life. And I eat things like pizza, I eat things like, you know, sandwiches, I drink coffee, sometimes I drink soda, not all the time, but sometimes I drink that. And I'm really still in great shape. So I really do believe that your fitness has a lot more to do with the energy behind how you eat. And I really make it my mission to eat in a way that feels good to me, not in a way that's fear-based. On exercise, get a lot of questions on exercise. Yeah, again, I go to the gym every day, and my theory with exercise, any kind of exercise, is that I break it into 4 categories. I want to be strong, I want to have endurance, I want to have flexibility, and I want to have balance. And so if you were to watch me at the gym, you'll see that I hit all 4 of those every day. All right, got another question on where I'm from. Well, right now I live in a town called Palm Bay, Florida, and I have lived here since 2006. But like I said, we are moving, and we are moving to a town about 30 minutes north called Vieira, Florida. So still Florida. It's the East Coast, the Atlantic coast of Florida. Some people call it the Space Coast. That is where I reside. We got another question here. Do you experience many low vibe days, and how do you deal with them? Truthfully, no. Days? No. Like a few minutes here and there? Sure. You know, I might get a little frustrated over here, frustrated over there. We don't really parlay those into entire days. I would say I had a day like a month ago that it was like weird because it was a bad day, and I'm like, this is so strange because I don't really hang out in that area. So if I have a day that's like a full-on kind of cranky bad day, it's very rare. I would say maybe once every few months or so now I could actually qualify a day as being bad. And that's actually probably being generous. And mostly just because I look at my emotions as a signal, and I am very careful about following how I feel. So if I start to feel a little bit uneasy, a little bit anxious, a little bit mad, it's a sign to me to drop whatever I'm doing and go find something else to do. And as long as I do that, I stop attending to whatever is dragging my focus into the dirt. But getting myself to the point of having a bad day is very rare. And when it does happen, it is, for me, invariably because I have decided to push forward with something when it's trying to tell me to stop. So maybe I'm doing a project at work and I've just gotten it into my head that I want to do it. And it's not going quite the way I want, but I'm focusing on it anyway. And I'm still in it anyway. If I do that for too long, it can screw up an entire day. I don't usually do it anymore, but like I said, I had a day the other month, and that's basically what it was. I spent the morning trying to do something that was trying to tell me it wasn't the right time to do it, and just attended to that to the point where I was having kind of a crummy day. And nothing really bad even happened. I was just kind of down, like today's not great. It's not so shiny outside, so it's not so nice. Poor me. It was one of those days. They're very few and far between, but again, monitoring how I feel is very important. Here's another one. I'd be interested in hearing about your taste in music or art or film. Of the three, music, art, or film, music plays the biggest role in my life. So I'll just talk about that one for a minute because I listen to way more music than most people. I mean, I really listen to a lot of music. I listen to it when I wake up, when I'm getting dressed, when I'm at the gym, when I'm driving, when I'm editing this video and putting it together. I guarantee there's music that's playing. I always have music on. Classic rock. So like rock from like the 70s, that's kind of where I like to kind of hang out, the 60s and the 70s. So I really like Led Zeppelin, I like the Rolling Stones. I also really love 80s music. Another thing that I really love, and this is something I've just gotten into the last few years, is like lounge music, like the music that they play at like the swanky bars and nightclubs and hotels. Lounge mode radio on Pandora. I love that stuff. Like my first real love with music was hip hop. In fact, the song that drew me to hip hop, I first heard when I was 12, which was Notorious B.I.G.'s Gimme the Loot. And if you have not heard that song, you know, don't go listen to it because it's not the nicest, most soothing, kind, and friendly song. But I was really drawn to music that was aggressive and violent. One of the harder struggles that I've had is I understand that programming does affect my vibration, and I still love hip hop very, very much. And it's kind of a chore for me to find hip hop that doesn't sway me in a direction I don't want to go. So like I really love Tribe Called Quest. That's a really great hip hop group. It's mostly very positive in nature. I like listening to them. In addition to that, I love classical music. Oh, and I love Frank Sinatra. So my music tastes are all over the map. I love music. All right, another question. Do you have a soulmate? And if so, how did you manifest them? And how long did it take? Well, I've been married since 2006 to my husband, and I didn't learn about the law of attraction till 2010 going into 11. So, you know, I manifested my husband long before I knew about the law of attraction. So I get this question all the time. What is your sign? Well, if you follow Western astrology, and if you're an American like me, you probably do. Western astrology, I am an Aquarius sun sign. In fact, I wear this a lot. This is a necklace my brother gave me. It's the constellation Aquarius. In Vedic astrology, which I am very interested in, so for any of my Indian friends on the channel, in Vedic astrology, I am a Capricorn sun and a Cancer moon. So I know moon signs a little bit more relevant in Vedic astrology, but I do always really relate to the sign of Aquarius because regardless of the system, I do also have an Aquarius South node, which probably means nothing to you unless you're into astrology. But yeah, I got a lot of questions on astrology. Are you into astrology? I'm way into astrology. I love it. And so I have made it a study and I do a lot of work in trying to learn more about astrology, although it's not anything that I do professionally, but you know, I get my charts, I do the charts of family, important people in my life. I'm always trying to learn different systems and what all the different symbols mean and constellations and asteroids and all that kind of stuff. All right, last questions. This one was funny. What is your spirit animal and have you considered doing fashion videos? So my spirit animal, I actually I went to some class years ago and there was this guided spirit guide meditation that they did because I'm into all the hippie stuff, right? And I'd never done a spirit guide meditation. And in that spirit guide meditation, the animal that came to me was an eagle. And so I always felt that that was very apt. So I just go with that it's an eagle. And I like that because I do find myself, I'm very independent. I tend to fly kind of solo. Yeah. So I like the eagle. That's my spirit animal. That's what we're sticking with. Have you considered doing fashion videos? No, I've never considered doing a fashion video. But thank you. That's really nice of you to think that I could possibly do a fashion video. I've never at all ever considered that. So thanks, but no, I've never thought of it before. All right, so I guess that's enough questions for this video. I hope that you like this different style of video. Feel free to drop your comments and thoughts about the style of video, or if you have any other questions that you'd like to ask me below in the comments. And also, if you haven't yet taken my Law of Attraction test, especially if you're new to my channel or new to watching my videos, look in the description for a link to my Law of Attraction test, and you can go ahead and take that now. All right, but that does it for this Q&A video, and I really hope that you have a great day. Bye-bye.